Doing well. How are you doing today?
I am good, thank you. I'm just going to, my Mac is on. So what I'm going to do is turn on Wi-Fi and maybe we can screen share and get this thing going, right?
Okay.
Okay.
All
All
right. Were
right.
you able to collect the rest of the information that we were trying to get?
Yes. So let me go to ARA. Session key.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Yeah, we were doing it that way.
Right.
Give me just a second here. That'll be 2935847.
Okay, there you are.
I'm with you.
Good stuff. All right. So gonna do that. I have activity monitor that's on here. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna minimize this. We need to upload the information. Yes. Are you gonna send me a new link or should I go to my email?
You may need a new one. I'll send the new one.
Okay. Okay. Let me know when it's sent.
I sent that over.
Okay. It's already sent, right?
Correct. To the email that's on
No.
uh, that's on the case here. I don't know if it's the email you prefer having it sent to. If you're not
SIT.
seeing it, then just
It's not. I don't have it.
okay. Which email address are
Uh,
you sending it to?
this is the one. Hold on. What the hell? Right here.
Okay.
There we go. I'm putting in my password.
looking through the already attached items on this case to see which of them are relevant to the ongoing issue with screen time specifically.
Okay, so what I've done, I've redone them all. I've redone them. They asked me for the beginning of choose one day, document for the one day. My one day is August the 3rd. Okay? Can you throw away what you can you throw away the hold on. This is what I all right. So I sent you something part 1 and part 2, I think, but I've changed it because when I first saved it, it didn't save the images that was in there. So I'm going to minimize everything now. I documented everything. I'm going to minimize it. Not minimize, compress. Two. There we go. So throughout your part 1 and part 2, these are the better ones. So here I go. Huh. Sorry. 1. Five. Oh, minimize this one. Compress. There we go.
Okay, were you saying something about removing the old stuff because some of this is redundant, or?
Yes. The stuff that I sent to you, for this particular issue, just throw them away. It's all right here. Because things change on my Mac constantly. I'll give you an idea. So this one here, this was on the 3rd. This was 5 o'clock in the afternoon. And hold on. This is the one I want to show you. No. Yes, just remove those, and I just want to make sure you're getting all these images.
Okay. I think there's a lot of stuff on here.
Yeah.
And they don't give me an easy way to remove it. It's like I have to go through one at a time.
Well, here's the thing. Just get rid of what I sent you, because when I saved them with screenshots so they can see what's happening, they wanted me to document time. So there's a time. Okay, so each one, part 1, 2, 3, documents time throughout the day, the usage. Okay, and has screenshots to show, because I recorded it all. Do you understand?
Gotcha.
Good. So one of the things I wanted to show Apple is Let's see, is it this one here? There's so many. Here we are at 8:18, and I constantly show mobile mail at 41 seconds. So 8:18, and then at 8:18:21, 8:18:25, mobile mail disappeared and mobile mail changed to mail. And I show that constantly. It's in the recording at 8:18. Okay? Anyway, that's what they wanted me to document. That is exactly what I have documented. And it's all there, but I want to go over with you. When you get this, can you open it? Can you open them?
I will check and see if I can or not.
Okay, because I just want to make sure that you're receiving what I'm sending you.
I mean, they'll be on the case. Engineering has more capacity to open things than I do. Not everything on our computers is meant to be opened. Just not in our area. Oh, they don't allow certain things on our computers. They have no restrictions on theirs.
Well, look, at least we'll try to find out if you can open them, because people tell me they don't receive what I send. Hence the reason I'm asking you. Let's try it at least to find out if you're receiving what I'm sending you. So while I'm waiting for this, I have a couple of questions, and it has to do with downtime. What's the purpose of downtime?
Well, I mean, in general, there's two main uses for screen time in general. It's to track your usage so you know what you're doing and you can stay on task, but also to manage somebody else's usage, such as someone who's supposed to be doing their schoolwork. You know, if you have a child or something like that, that's, you know, they're using the computer, but they're not using it for what they're supposed to be. You can prevent them from using things that they shouldn't be using while they're supposed to be doing something else. So downtime allows you to do that, to like restrict access.
Okay, so let's say put the entire Mac in downtime, and I'm not using anything except maybe I'm looking at activity monitor. Should all applications go in downtime, or are some of them not? Do they bypass downtime?
I have to look and see how you have it set up. I mean, in general, one does not want to have downtime on themselves.
Okay.
Really something that you would want. It's like, there's a particular app that is not relevant to one's, responsibilities or schoolwork, something like that. You can say, nope, can't do that more than this amount of hours.
Okay.
So I don't normally recommend having such restrictions on oneself.
And when the Mac is in downtime, let's say there's no Wi-Fi and it's in downtime, should packets be moving in and out of the Mac?
Yeah, I don't know why it wouldn't have any real bearing on the. You're talking about the activity monitor, what you see in there?
Yes. Like for example.
Yeah, it shouldn't have any.
Here, what I see in here.
Shouldn't have any impact on that.
No, but should I see packets moving in and out when the Mac is in downtime and no Wi-Fi, no syncing, no nothing of that sort?
I don't know any reason it would have any impact on activity monitor on the processes running in the background.
Right. So I'm not talking about impact. All I'm talking about, see how here packets are moving. It tells me packets are moving, right? More are out than coming in, but a significant amount is coming in. So when I put the Mac in downtime, should this happen? Should I see?
It shouldn't have any impact on that.
Okay, so that's a no?
Correct.
Okay.
No, that is I don't. The truth is, I don't know the answer to that.
Okay.
I don't think it would have any impact on that unless it's preventing a particular application that's giving you packet sending and receive. Like if it was preventing that application from being used at all, then that shouldn't be the one that would be sending and receiving packets. But there could be something else. I mean, you can see the activities or the processes jumping around in there, and for the most part, like your packets sent and received right now are going to be on the screen share. Screen share is going to be doing that.
So I'm screen sharing with you. So screen sharing will be sending packets, right? In and out.
Mm-hmm.
All
Correct.
right. Okay, hold on. Go to screen time. And screen sharing is under other, yes?
I don't know.
Okay.
If you don't, do you see it anywhere else?
Well, here's the thing. Here's my usage, 1 hour 54 minutes, right? And these don't add up to that, right? So then I go 1 hour 54 minutes and I go here to app limits, go here, and it tells me usage has been for 3 hour 14 minutes.
Okay.
Okay, good. Okay, not good.
I don't know that it is either way. I don't know if one is kind of more just the uptime in general of the computer, while the other one is specifically documenting the time in each application.
Well, all apps and categories, everything on the computer has been using it for 3 hours 14 minutes according to Apple, right? And then here, usage, and then it breaks down the usage, only shows 1 hour 55 minutes. So 1 hour 55 minutes here, and then I go to always allowed, and does not up. Then I go, there's wireless diagnostic there. Wireless diagnostic, if I go to app limit, go to other, it looks here like I've been talking you for 5 seconds only. Other is shown as 6 minutes. Okay, so that certainly is incorrect. 5 seconds, 6 minutes other here. Keep in mind 6 minutes there, and I cannot undo anything. Okay, I cannot undo. Wireless diagnostic is not an app. So 6 minutes there, and go here. I go to categories, and other is 19 minutes here. Same other, 19 minutes here. I'll let you speak. Go ahead. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what it would account for the additional time.
Right.
I mean, all I can really do is just send it to engineering and let them look at it and try to figure out what can be done to make it more accurate.
Okay. So let's go back to wireless diagnostic. There it is, but it's not an app. There, all the apps. There's no wireless diagnostic. It's not an app.
I mean, yeah, it's something that's built into the operating system.
All right. So since I'm here, I'll tell you that I've tried different things. I've tested the Mac out. When I put the Mac in downtime, there's a number of apps. Certainly Keychain, System Information, Migration Assistant, VoiceOver, sometimes Text Edit, always Activity Monitor, sometimes Console will bypass downtime. When I hear these apps always bypass the downtime. Okay, Safari a lot of times, but not all the time. But these ones all the time. Any idea why? And Find My. Any idea why?
Probably because there are more utilities. I'm guessing it's because they're more of a utility, a necessary thing to manage a device.
All right. So those are the questions I have because Apple Engineering is asking me to do a lot of work for them, which I've done, and things keep disappearing. That's why I record them. So I'm gonna close this, and I'm gonna close this now. Um, so the questions I have for Apple is, and I'm gonna ask you to research it, is about downtime. When I put the Mac in downtime, are apps supposed to bypass downtime? Are packets supposed to be moving in and out? And why isn't the time why aren't the values for the times usage congruent? Okay, sharing D, I just saw it, is a common process. Sharing D, just saw it there, is a common process. Sharing D, see that? And I don't share. Well, I'm sharing with you now, but when I'm not even sharing with anyone, sharing D is a constant process. Okay, so I've said my piece. I'm gonna go here. Can you confirm that you've received these things, please?
I did, yes. I see them.
Fantastic. So, can we open one and let's see if you actually got what I sent you? Not that one. Let's go to number 2. Can you open part 2 and let's see if you got the screenshots?
Okay. Okay, I see it.
Okay, do you have the screenshots though?
I do. It's RTFD file with text and screenshot.
Right. Are you able to tell how many screenshots you got for part 2?
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 18, 19, 20, like 20 or so.
21?
Something like that.
Okay, should be 21. Okay, so here's what I'm talking about. Wi-Fi is off, Bluetooth is off, but Wi-Fi is an active process. Okay? So usage every day, incorrect. So we went through that. But here's the question that I keep asking. Packets are constantly moving in and out of the Mac when Wi-Fi is off and the Mac is in downtime. I need someone to research that. I need you to tell me if that is expected or not. And I did not set anything in restricted as restricted, nothing. We've already checked it in here and users and group. I did not set anything wherever it is I'm supposed to go there. Nothing is set to be in downtime. Yet, every single process is in downtime, including Wi-Fi. I cannot turn anything off. So, can we look at that since I've already sent the information to Apple?
Okay, so yeah, the restricted in the activity monitor doesn't likely correspond with screen time.
Right. Correct. It doesn't correspond with screen time. I just have screen time up. But I'm just showing you activity monitor. Every single process is restricted, including Safari. But I didn't have Wi-Fi on at the time. And by the way, usage tracking, hold on. Let me go. Yeah, the question is still on the table. So restricted is on the table, and every process on my Mac, not every, the most of them are remote service. This is when I opened the Mac this morning. Most every process is remote.
You're saying it's most every process is remote?
Yes, remote service. See? Screen time is remote service. Right here. And if I go over here, all processes, all activities are volatile. Every single one of them. There's track mouse, and see the messages popped up and then they disappear. There's track mouse and track usage. And it will not show user ID. It will not show. Okay, that one does. That one does. That's one line. User ID. Nope, will not show it. Will not show the parent, and all processes, as I said, are volatile. Thoughts? So we have restricted, all volatile, and remote service.
Okay, I'm not sure if that has any relevance to screen time and the inaccuracies of the applications. You know, tracking their how much time they've been in use for. I mean, we're drilling down into the actual processes that are running, and I would just leave that to them if that's relevant or not. Like volatile, that probably has something to do with its position in memory. I would guess. I mean, that's usually what volatile refers to. I'm not sure that has any real bearing on whether or not. I mean, I would let them figure that out.
All right.
So the main concern though is that the time showing in screen time did not correspond with the overall usage time. Is that right? The times of each individual application don't seem to add up to the overall usage times that it's giving you. Something along those lines?
They wanted to track, because I've been saying that when captured data is run, captured data does not reflect what's happening on the Mac. So I think a lot of people have been complaining of similarly, because I've already been told that a lot of people, Apple knows that screen time is not showing properly the what's being used. Okay, so they wanted me to do the document for the day. So when I documented it, I ran diagnostic, and this is what it says. It says, actually, I'm a host. Okay, packets are being sent for unknown or unsupported protocol from this host. Okay, so this is what I documented my usage. Okay, my Mac tells me there's IPv6 usage when I do not have Wi-Fi. Okay, so that is my usage. So is and here my Mac tells me I'm using it. It shows sharing, and it tells me user is not signed in, but I am using it. Okay, anyways, that's what I want to send them. Yes, the problem shows in screen time, but it's system wide. If the Mac is not seeing me as being signed in, I should be the only user. Where's the other user? So That's one. And then sharing D, not blocking, already connected, but I did not connect. Okay, that there is a problem. The sharing D, the constant sharing, and it's all in there. Finish concurrent execution. Anyways, whatever, they can have a look at it. Everything it says kernel debug. Okay, I've sent it to you, and we leave that up to Apple engineering. Um, there's another one here that says there's usage tracking agent. So there's my usage. There's one, and there's a remote service. Anyway, so I sent it to you. Hopefully you got all the screenshots, but I still want to get answers to downtime. I want to understand how it works, because I was told when I put it in downtime, nothing should bypass downtime unless I permit an app to bypass downtime. So is that true or not? I don't know. I need you to look it up. Is it possible for you to look up downtime and the 3 questions I asked?
So like I said, downtime is something that's meant to restrict the user. It doesn't restrict the Mac from doing things. Like, you're digging into the processes. I'm not sure how relevant any of that stuff is. You're going to find all kinds of stuff going on in the background that is not necessarily going to have any bearing on screen time or downtime.
I'm not interested in the background right now. That's not, I'm looking at the bigger picture. What should I expect from downtime? When I put the Mac in downtime, should apps bypass downtime? That's a general question. Right? Another general question.
They should only not bypass it for you. So we have public articles that explain downtime.
All right. Let's go there. So I just want to conclude this. You received all of this, yes? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 items?
Yes.
Perfect. So I'm going to sign out of it. Good. So 1 down. The most important thing is down. So just for me, actually the downtime I need to understand. So are we going to downtime to understand downtime?
So in the user guide, there's an entry for managing downtime and screen time on Mac, right there. The very first article. And that's what you're seeing on the screen is actually, that's downtime when it gives you that message. Did you see that message that popped up saying that with the hourglass? That is actually downtime.
Yeah, I know the hourglass is downtime, but these articles, yes, they're general, and I'm asking a general question, but sometimes they do not answer the questions that's asked. So that's hence the reason I'm asking you.
Yes, I mean, the purpose of downtime is to prevent the user, not to prevent the system.
Okay.
The system isn't going to be hindered by the things that you set up there. Like, the process in the background can still transmit data if it needs to. It's not preventing it. It's preventing your usage of it.
Okay.
Not the system's usage.
Okay, I tell you what, I have to run. I've sent all the information to you. I'm going to send you an email with the questions that I have. I'm going to read this article first. Okay? If it answers my question, fantastic. If it doesn't, I'm going to email you the questions. Okay? Could you please let me know if it's all I need to know? Is it expected behavior or not expected behavior? And then we'll let it go. If it is expected behavior.
Okay, so just to summarize,
yes.
the original concern with screen time, just to try to simplify this, because I'm going to be honest, if engineering opens these things up and sees all that information, they're going to think most of it is superfluous. They're not going to understand what connection that has to the inquiry on screen time and whether or not the times of your specific apps match the overall time of usage that it shows. That's what they need to. That's what our report here is trying to correct or get further information about how we can get it to be more accurate. A lot of that other stuff is, I mean, maybe on an engineering level, maybe it has some benefit to them. I don't know. I don't want to speak for them, but they're going to see a lot of it and say, because all they wanted is just a sample, like my computer woke at this time. I launched an application this time. I launched mail at this time. I used Safari for 45 minutes. I quit Safari after an hour. The computer was shut down 2 hours later, and that's the amount of usage, you know, that you've documented. And then this is what it shows in screen time. It doesn't reflect that same amount of usage. That's what they're looking for.
Right. So I
That's
read.
all.
Right. So I read exactly what they said. The more detail and accuracy, the better. So I was very detailed and very accurate. Okay. It specifically said here, more detail and more accuracy, the better. So I did that. I showed them exactly what I did for that one day, nothing else, for that one day. All right. So that's
all right. So the next step is going to be I need to send a report to them. So I have to create this report now and send it to them. I have to be with you on the phone whenever I create that. It's going to take a few minutes.
Oh, okay. Okay, so you do that, and I'll be back in 1 minute. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, I'm back if you need me.
Okay. So if I could get the most boiled down description of what it is that we're trying to do, so I can put it in here as the main issue.
Here.
What would you say that is? How would you describe that?
Well, no, it's not for me to describe. I am following directions from engineering, and this is exactly what they ask for. Please document for 1 day. That's what they ask for. And just choose a day at random.
Okay.
I'm going to close that. Close this.
All right. This computer is the MacBook Air M1 2020.
Hold on. Right there.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So some of the questions that you had were um, whether or not screen time should like prohibit, I guess, certain activity in the background on the computer.
Okay, are you talking about the three questions I have?
Yes.
I don't have I have the. Are you going to ask that those questions of engineering, or are you going to research those questions?
Well, I mean, at the end of the report, once we've submitted all the information to them because the report itself has to be very targeted.
Right.
When we submit it, it has to be specifically for this issue. And other questions, if they're relevant, I can try to include them and ask and see if we can get any answers back in regard to that. So I can try to ask and see whether they can, shine any more light on that.
Well, okay. So the questions the question is about downtime. When I put the Mac in downtime, I turn it on. I put it in downtime. Here's the thing: at midnight, every night, downtime automatically turns itself off. I've already documented that in these things that I've sent. Okay, that the Mac turns itself on. Just 1 second. Not here. This here. I sent you 2 screenshots. There's downtime. Can you see my screen? Good. So August the 2nd. So they want me to record on August the 3rd. So I'm recording on August the 2nd, the night of. There's 11:59:59. Okay, 1 more second for 12 o'clock. So I have downtime is on. Okay, packets are constantly moving in and out of the Mac. And then exactly 1 second later, and I recorded it. 1 second later, downtime turns itself off. Okay, and everything comes back on at the bottom. Okay, every night that happens. So, my question is, when I put things in downtime, should it stay in downtime? Should it turn itself back on or turn itself off? And should apps just on their own accord bypass downtime?
Okay. So I can answer some of those things.
Okay.
So downtime is something that you set on basis unless you have a schedule created for it. So if you're not using a schedule for downtime, it will kick it off at the start of a new day.
Hold on.
It'll turn it off.
Okay, hold on. So I go to downtime. So you were telling me if schedule is off, because schedule used to be on and it still happened. Okay? So someone told me that take schedule off, put it on downtime, and you should stay on downtime unless I go to always allow and I allow certain things to bypass downtime, but I never allow anything to bypass downtime. I record it. So you're telling me now that if I put it on schedule, it will not turn itself off at midnight.
Correct, it shouldn't.
Okay, let's do it right
I believe
now.
that's the expected behavior, is that if you use a schedule, you can tell exactly when it should be in downtime.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I go every day from 12 a.m. to 12 p.m. Will it bypass? Will it do the same thing or no?
It shouldn't.
It shouldn't. Okay.
It should be. It should remain in downtime as long as the schedule is active.
Okay. So I documented it that it turns itself off at midnight only because I heard from you guys, senior advisor, that I should take it off schedule because I had it on schedule. I was told I should take it off schedule, put it here on downtime only. Anyways, so let's try this one and see if it works. Okay, I'll leave it there. And so when it's on downtime, so the second question is, when it's on downtime, should packets do that, move in and out? Let's say right now I put it on downtime and I want the entire Mac to be on downtime except for activity monitor because I want to see what's happening. Should I see packets moving in and out? That's a specific question. Thoughts?
Okay. So I went ahead and submitted those questions, and let me just add our resources.
Okay. Can you read those questions back to me that you have? I just want to make sure it is what I mean, or they are what
Sure.
I mean.
So I asked them about a way to make sure that downtime does not turn off at midnight. So I want to ask them, I asked them whether or not it's, better for us to use a schedule to achieve that,
Mm-hmm.
or to just leave it off, or leave it on.
Mm-hmm.
And then the question of whether the packets and background data viewed in Activity Monitor should be prohibited by screen time and downtime. And then the main question, which is there a way to correct the inaccuracy of the usage by app as it as it correlates to the overall usage showing? Because that's the overarching, the main issue, if I'm
Sure.
understanding you correctly.
Sure. It's the incorrect 2 hours 28 minutes, and this does not align here for 2 hours 28 minutes. It's right there. Right? It does not align. So the usage always incorrect. Sometimes I show 150 something pickups here. 155 I think the last one was. Okay. Anyways, it goes on and on. The thing is, I want to go back to your question 2, where you talk about packets. Should packets move in and out of the Mac in downtime? That was a specific question, right? Yes?
Sorry, can you repeat that?
Your question number 2, the specific question as it pertains to packets is, should packets move in and out of the Mac while the Mac is in downtime? No Wi-Fi.
Right.
Right? Okay, that's your number 2. And you also mentioned number 2, all the restricted processes, right?
I didn't mention the restricted
Okay.
processes
Okay.
because I don't know what those mean, and
Okay.
I don't know that has any correlation with screen time.
No, I got you. I do understand that, and that makes sense. That's a different issue. Okay, so are we done with downtime now?
Yes. Let me go ahead and add some information to this. The articles and
Yeah. Just to clarify with you, my Mac shows items here that I never use. Like, for instance, this one here keeps showing up all the time. I don't know what it is. Anyway, and here you are, remote advisor. It says 17 seconds of use only. Of course, I've been talking to you for quite a while now. So, there we go.
yeah. Yeah, that's that's odd. I don't know what it would use, like what criteria it bases that on. Um, because I mean, if it's running in the background, it would. I don't know. I kind of think that screen time, it tries to look at what's active on the screen, like what you're currently. I have a feeling that it has to do with the focus. So on an operating system, whatever's in focus, that's the app that you're currently working in, you're interacting with. I have a feeling that's what they use to calculate screen time. So if Remote Advisor is not at the top, even though it's running in the background, but still, 17 seconds, that's not very helpful. Like, that doesn't give us any real, it doesn't reflect what's really going on, which is that it's actually running in the background. But as far as your usage is concerned, yeah, I don't, all I can do is give it to them and let them figure it out, because I don't make the stuff. I just try to make it work with you. So I'll leave that in their capable hands, and they can try to determine if there's something that we can do to improve upon this and try to get a little more information on how things work.
Right. Hence the reason why I send the screenshots that I sent so they can see exactly what's happening. Because nothing and things change, it'll disappear and reappear constantly throughout the day. They'll disappear or reappear. Okay, now there's Remote Advisor 17 seconds. Let me do this now. Remote Advisor 17 seconds. Go here. Other is 20 minutes. Go here. Other is 6 minutes. Remote Advisor is 5 seconds. Okay, so I'm just showing you this in real time so you know what's happening. It's not that I'm making it up or you don't know the variables. You see it in real time. Okay, and anyways, I did not use wireless diagnostic today. I did not use it. I used it once a few days ago, not anymore, only because I had problems with Wi-Fi. Anyways, it's a constant now. Okay, the times do not add up. 6 minutes here, 5 seconds. Do not add up. Okay? And yes, if somebody's screen sharing with me, I would like my Mac to tell me who's screen sharing with me and for how long. My Mac doesn't tell me. Yes or no? Yes?
Well, yeah, I mean, it'd be nice for it to reflect the actual time that that's been running, I would think.
Thank
I
you.
mean, otherwise it's not really valuable. 17 seconds of Remote Advisor, I mean, it shows that it existed, but it doesn't show how long it existed for. So, yeah, I mean, that's just another example of it being inaccurate and not really giving you a detailed report on what was being used.
Right. And it's every day. I see usage at 2 o'clock in the morning. 2 o'clock to 6 o'clock in the morning, that I never use the Mac. Okay? But it shows like something like 17 seconds. Okay? But here it shows differently. Anyways, I just again stressing to you the importance that these people understand, engineering understand the magnitude of the problem.
Okay. Well, I'll definitely give the information to them, and yeah, I will see what they have to say about it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So I'll email you the 3 questions. I'll put it down on paper. I like to document everything. And then is it possible for you to research why all processes are restricted on my Mac?
So let me see if I can find any information on what the restriction means under Activity Monitor.
Okay.
monitor guide, it doesn't have. And when you're looking at it, the restricted. Oh, sorry. When you're, which category are you under? Are you under CPU, memory,
Network. Network.
under network?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, of the basic information about activity monitor, not seeing anything about the restricted column, what it's supposed to mean. Let me look at it on mine. So by default, it doesn't look like that column even shows. Had to add it. Okay, so just on mine, just in general on mine, it looks like the applications that I use
Mm-hmm.
are not restricted. The things that are being used by the operating system, like Mac OS, those things are restricted.
Sure, and I get that, but all of mine are restricted except for Apple. That's the only thing that's not restricted. Okay? Everything else, Safari, you name it, every process, even if I was to put in a new app, it will be restricted as well. Every single process is restricted.
Yeah. I'm looking, but I don't see anything that details what that is about.
Well, I've said it before, I have zero control of the Mac. I cannot quit stuff, they come right back. I see unusual things that I should not be running. I turn things off and they're still running. I try to quit them and they don't quit. And by the way, I don't know if you're looking at your screen, but all processes are remote. And console log messages are disappearing.
Yeah, it looks like it's going up and down, but mostly down.
Yeah, it should be going up, but it's going down. That happens all the time. I've documented it ad nauseum. After about 400,000 messages, about 3 to 400,000, they start to disappear.
Yeah, it probably has something to do with a limitation on how large the file should be.
Okay.
So it probably just trims itself as it needs to be. How is your storage space? How much storage do you have on the Mac available?
I have enough.
Okay. Yeah, I know that it does keep information for a finite period of time. That's why whenever we run our logs, we often have to do so immediately following the event that we're, troubleshooting occurring, because beyond that, it won't be available. It may not be available in the logs. So that may just be a matter of, information comes and goes. It doesn't record everything because it would fill your computer up with diagnostics and logs and stuff like that over time. So it probably only keeps a record of so much information.
Well, I have a feeling, I think you were on point when you said there's some sort of restriction. I think there's a restriction as to how many messages the logs would show before they start to disappear. Is there a way to undo that?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay. All right. So so we don't know about console, the log messages, how to stop um, that amount, or to expand on it. We don't know how to do that. The other one is restricted. Are we leaving restricted alone because there's no answer?
Yeah, I don't know of any. I can look into it separately, but that's going to be getting into a different topic. I can't bombard specific
That's okay.
engineers for with a bunch of different questions, because they only have everybody has their unique, their very narrow scope of support, and they may very well not know the answer to something that's outside of that scope. So we have to keep it pretty narrow when we contact them. That way we can, resolve a specific thing. But if there's any, further trouble and we need to find a way to do something else or get other information, then I can always create a separate case for it. But for now, I'll get that information to them, and we'll see what they have to say. I can set up a time to get back in touch with you in a few days.
Yeah, no, all of that works for me. I do understand. I'm just asking you about the restrictions and about console as a separate issue because we were already done with engineering. Yeah, we can start up a separate case whenever you're ready for the restricted processes and log messages disappearing. So before we finish, I just want to show you we're still at remote advisor 17 seconds, and remote advisor is shown as being in gray for every day, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. But I did not talk to you for those days, and it's in gray. Okay, it was in gray this morning, last night, midnight. It's in gray right now. Okay, so it shows really. I asked you guys about what gray means. It means something that is not active. Okay, but that doesn't mean anything. You're active with me right now, but it doesn't show properly. I want to go to categories. Other is at 20 minutes now. Other as well, just like remote advisor, is a constant every single day. Look at this, just like remote advisor at midnight. Okay, so that there is for your own knowledge. I want to show you, so when we talk again, you know what's going on this Mac. Okay, so there we go. I think
Okay.
that I think that concludes my issue for this week.
Gotcha. All right. Did you want me to try to follow up on Friday?
Friday? Sure, why not? Friday, what time?
See if we have any information back from them,
Sure.
and so just to prepare you for the answer. So often, when there is an issue that we're collecting information on, such as the inaccuracies of screen time, often what they may say is that we are working to. They'll basically say generically, "Thank you for the information. We are working to correct and improve this, and to keep your Mac up to date," is often what they'll say. Unless there's something in particular, like a particular setting or a change that we can actually make, or starting fresh, creating a new user and testing it there. Unless there's some action that we need to take, they're generally going to give us kind of a not always very satisfying answer of, we're going to work on this, and thanks for this information so that we can, work on this. Keep your Mac up to date, and further corrections or improvements will come by way of update in the future. That's often what they will say. So, but I'll follow up with you, and we'll see what they have to say, if there's any other action that we need to take. And which time zone are you in?
Eastern Standard.
Okay. And what time do you prefer on Friday?
What's your latest?
The latest for me would be 5 Eastern.
Let's do 5.
Okay.
5 p.m. on Friday. So, given what you've just said to me, two things. One, is it possible to remove this wireless diagnostic from here?
To remove something that shows in the report of screen time, I don't think you can remove stuff. I think it just is. I don't think there's any way to remove it. So wireless diagnostic it's like an app, it's a built-in app that's part of your the operating system in the Wi-Fi. So you can see it by clicking on Wi-Fi. It'll show you the option for that. That's the only way to access wireless diagnostic that I'm aware of. But if you click on Wi-Fi up here,
Mm-hmm.
and there's a wireless diagnostic, it should be, maybe it's accessible through network preference. It used to just say right in.
But it doesn't say it in the drop-down menu.
Maybe it doesn't say it if you're actually connected or something. Usually the only time I see it or run it is if somebody's having trouble connecting, or they're having an issue with the network. Yours is connected fine, so
Yeah.
perhaps it doesn't show it at that point. But yeah, it's an internal function of the Wi-Fi. It's an app that you can use when you're having trouble connecting.
All right.
It will try to give you a report as to why something doesn't connect.
All right. So I'll tell you this: there were times when I would show 2 previews and 2 quick times in screen time. Apple didn't know why it was showing 2 previews and 2 quick times. These days they shows 1 preview and 1 quick time. But some of you guys were able to remove some of these things from in here. It was possible to remove them because wireless diagnostic, I know that's possible to. I know it's internal to Apple, but it's not an app. It should not be there. It's not an app. It is not in my applications folder. It's not here. Okay, it's not an app. I already showed this to you before. So I know some people know how to remove it, but that's fine. We'll leave it. That's just part of the problems that I'm having with the Mac. Yeah, I said 2 things. And of course now I forgot the other
Oh,
one.
so it can be pulled up with Spotlight as well.
Huh?
I just did a Spotlight search for it,
Yeah.
and wireless diagnostic searchable in Spotlight. So I can run it that way. So as far as removing it, can we make this screen any bigger? This window for screen time,
It doesn't.
or is that it doesn't allow you to
No.
resize it?
No.
Okay. Where did it go?
There.
Just looking at envelope.
So
Okay,
click.
so in here, it's okay. Always allowed is just giving us the ability to allow it by the checkbox. So yeah,
Right. So the thing is, like,
that's
I don't allow anything. Right now, nothing is allowed, and it's in downtime. What's the use of downtime if I don't have to allow anything? Everything allows by themselves.
right. Because in here, to allow them, you allow them via the checkbox. This just lists everything. I don't know of any way to remove it from there without removing the app itself. I mean, you can try to remove the app itself. It may be under applications in the applications folder, but I don't think it would let you remove it because it is a built-in. It's part of the operating system, so it's not going to be removable.
Well, okay, listen. I've seen people try to remove them. Okay, look, here's Apple support and console are using the same Apple logo. Here's mail and preview using the same logo, the same icon. And QuickTime is using mail icon. So
Okay.
well, it's not reading properly.
Well, those are active. Those are active applications under ForceQuit. That doesn't. This is a list of everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
So removing something here doesn't have anything to do with removing it here.
No, I know. I just decided to open it up to see what it will show. I'm just showing you Apple support and console has the same Apple logo. That shouldn't happen. The console logo is right here. That's what it should look like. That's what it should look like. Anyways, I'm gonna close that. You're correct. It doesn't have anything to do with these. Okay, 34, 19, 18, 13, 4. So let's say 1 hour usage here. Nearly 3 hours usage here. All right, I think yeah. Is there I'm going to send you an email though after we're done, if that's all right with you.
Okay.
Right? So 5 p.m. on Friday?
I'll talk to you then.
Yeah, I have a question. Remember I said I have 2 questions. One was the this here wireless diagnostic, and here's the other one. So if engineering comes back and say, okay, we know you have a problem, wait for a patch, right? So let me close this. Let me close, uh, minimize that. So they say wait for a patch. They told me that before, and this is what happened on the 27th of July. Here I am, I have 12.4 and I'm trying to update. This happens every time. I'm going to play it now. There. It wouldn't update. See it? See that?
Okay, when you try to click on update.
It wouldn't update.
Wait, right now you're on 12.4. You're not on 12.5.
No. This is just a recording I wanted to show you because Apple,
Oh, okay.
right? This was on
Oh, so and as of now, how does it look? I mean, it should show probably grayed out if you're on 12.5.
I am on 12.5 now.
Okay.
Okay?
How does it behave now?
It's a nightmare. I have no control of the Mac. None. So I'm only showing you this recording. It's only 51 seconds long because I'm referring to what you just said, which is um, um, engineering might come back with a generic answer. And they have come back with a generic answer previously when they said, wait for the patch. Okay, when I had 12.4 and I waited for the patch, when the patch arrived, my Mac would not update. This is what happens all the time. I'm showing you right now. It will not update. Then it took a long time before it finally updated. Okay, so when they say wait for the patch, that doesn't mean anything for me, because my Mac won't allow the update until much longer, until when it's ready. Then it'll update. But when I try to update, it would not update. So I want.
Okay, there's other ways to update. If it doesn't update there, you can try it through system preferences, or you can try it through
Wait, hold on. Through system preferences?
other means.
Where? Software update? It goes back to the same window, software update. Okay? Because when I do an update here and I say software update, it goes to the same window. Right? Whichever way I do it, it goes to the very same window and it will not update.
So how did it eventually update? It just did it automatically?
No.
On its own at some point? Or
well, hold on. So I set my Mac to automatically update. It never ever does automatically update. Okay? I have to purposely try to update it, and then like I showed you in the recording, it will not update. It will not update. That's why I recorded it. It will not update. There. Okay? So I want, please put that in your notes if you haven't sent it as yet, because if they're giving me the same stuff, the same spiel of wait for a patch, that does not work for me.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, an update in the future that may correct something, it doesn't mean the next update. It just means it will be updated, and they are working on it. And the only way to, see that reflected is to update in the future. But it doesn't mean that it's going to be in the very next update. Usually, the very next update is going to contain things that were reported months ago. So it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to immediately be fixed. Sometimes it does. Like if you just got a brand new version of Mac OS, the very beginning is usually where they correct the most. They have the most stuff to correct, and sometimes you'll see something you report get resolved very quickly. If it's something that has been reported by others as well. Other things, like an issue with screen time, that may be a longer process. So it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be the very next update is going to correct it.
Got it. So in the meantime, I have a Mac that doesn't work properly. I have a Mac that tells me when somebody's screen sharing on my computer, and it tells me I have active processes or active connections when it shows that Wi-Fi is off. So, significant issues. Am I stuck with this computer that does not work properly?
I mean, I don't know if that's. There's other things that we could do to troubleshoot those things, but I mean, we would have to look at that separately
All right.
because, yeah, I mean, that's going to be a separate thing from screen time.
Okay.
So when you turn off your Wi-Fi, it's still showing that there is a packet being sent and received.
Yep. Hold on.
Okay.
All the time, constantly, every day. This is this morning. This is this morning.
All right. Do you have?
This morning.
I wonder if
Wi-Fi
network
is an active
includes.
process. See? Data always moving in and out. Wi-Fi is an active process when I turn the Mac on. This morning. Okay?
Well, yeah, if you turn it off now, then it would. Yeah. Let's see. Because network may refer to other things. It could refer to like any other wireless peripherals. I'm not sure if it tracks like Bluetooth. Do you have any Bluetooth devices or?
Bluetooth is off. It's always off on my Mac,
Okay, Bluetooth is off as well.
but it's an active process in console.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on. Look, all of these are remote service. Every process here is remote. See that? Everything is remote. So Bluetooth.
Well, remote service. I don't know what that means. Remote could mean it's outside of, you know, something that the user's doing. I mean, maybe outside of. Who knows? They name processes strange names.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean remote meaning away from you or away from your computer, but remote is an outside of whatever, you know, the user's doing. It could be like an external function of the operating system. That could be what they mean by a remote.
Right.
So it's kind of generic. I don't know what that would really refer to.
So here's the thing, and that's fine. When you guys are speculating, I'd like for you to tell me you're speculating, because it just gets me into a quagmire as to when it could be this or it could be that. No one. My thought is when I turn Bluetooth off, it should be off. It should always be off. But Bluetooth is a regular, constant process on the Mac. Bluetooth address changed. I don't know how that happens. See? Bluetooth is an active process. Student D, I'm not a student. Active process. Bluetooth, active, all of it. Okay?
I mean, I'm sure it still has something running in the background. That way, if you were to turn it on, it would be able to turn itself back on. If it was completely off altogether, it would be unresponsive if you tried to interact with it.
I don't want to interact with
to some degree, it's still going to have something running so that it can interact with you on the screen if you click on it.
Okay, so I don't want speculation, and thank you for that, though. Here's family. All volatile. I did not join family. Okay, I did not sign in with my Apple ID, yet it's a constant process. Constant. Not one-off. Constant. I can understand the one-off. The constant, the entire time I'm using the Mac should not happen. See that? It's constant. It's not a one-off. Just like Bluetooth, I'm not signed into cloud. Okay? And cloud, device management is a constant. User management. And cloud, mobile document file provider, is a constant. But I don't use cloud. Family circle. It says no cloud, no family circle, by family circle. Okay, so your thoughts? No family circle, no family, no cloud, no Bluetooth.
So thoughts on what exactly? What's happening?
I'm saying that I don't use cloud,
Okay.
but cloud, Bluetooth, and family are constant, not one off. I can understand one off. They're constant processes on the Mac.
Yeah. I mean, it's always going to run those things in the background so that they have the capability of doing them if they were enabled. Because they're not enabled doesn't mean it just removes it from your computer. It's still going to be part of the operating system. It still has to be there in the background and accessible if you were to sign in, if you were to use iCloud Drive, if you were to use family sharing. All those things are still built into the system. It's baked in. You can't remove it because it's turned off.
All right. Okay. So the thing is, um, whenever I speak to you guys, and I'm being blunt with you here, you guys minimize the problem. So I'll take what you just said, that processes are running. Yep, makes sense. Hence the reason why when I set up Activity Monitor, I ask for only active processes. And everything that I just told you about Bluetooth, usage tracking, uh, family, and cloud are constant processes when they should be turned off. Anyways, look, we're getting into a quagmire. Let me leave it there. I'm going to leave it here. I just want to know, if I wipe this Mac, should the problem continue?
I don't know. I don't know what benefit that's going to have. I can't say. I can only speculate as to whether those things are behaving as intended or whether that's something that's actually not um, supposed to happen. But I do know that when you start to really, look closely at everything, there's a lot of things that aren't going to make sense to the end user. They're not really intended. Like, none of this stuff is intended to be looked at by the end user. It's mostly there so that whenever there's a problem on the outside, that they can go in and look at it on the inside and figure out what's really happening. If anyone, like yourself or myself, because I'm not initiated on what all that stuff means, that's beyond my pay. It's above my pay grade. But if I look at it, I could probably think a lot of strange things about what is actually going on, because all I can do is interpret it with what I see on the outside. On the outside, on the user interface that you can turn on and off, a lot of things are off. But if you look on the inside, you can still see evidence of them. So it doesn't mean that it's doing something it shouldn't be doing. It just means that those things are still there and capable of being accessed and utilized if you were to turn them on.
So I'm only showing you the background information, like these sort of things that clearly says account profile remote view. It's a service. Okay, I'm just showing you that. But then at the front facing part that we should be concerned about as user, this is the background, is why is it that my computer is not recording properly? It's not telling me when somebody, let's say somebody has hacked my computer. My computer does not tell me how long this person has been on my Mac. That should be concerning to me, shouldn't it? Okay.
Well, I mean, the lack of correct information is disconcerting. That's what we sent the report to engineering for.
Right.
So
let's stick with this one.
But as far as
let's stick with just screen time, right? Because my Mac is showing usage. I'm telling you this, and I've documented it. My Mac is showing usage when I did not use the Mac. I've already documented it. So we have a huge problem. Okay, screen time showed 0. I know I didn't use the Mac for a couple of days. I look at the logs and it shows usage in the logs. Okay, let's stick to screen time only. Forget about all the other problems. If I wipe the Mac and this happens again, then what? Because I have a defective computer, don't I?
The computer being defective, I would say it's not likely a computer issue. I would say it's more likely a software operating issue, something that has to be corrected. And it probably means it's persisting everywhere.
Sorry. So, just because I have it means it's persisting everywhere?
It's very possible. If it was wiped, it was a clean install, just the operating system, then and it was still doing this, it was behaving the same way, then I would think it's most likely. I don't see any indication that there being a hardware problem because of that.
All
It
right.
sounds like a software operating system issue.
Okay, let's stick with screen time. If I was to wipe this Mac, start from scratch, not migrate anything, not install anything, should I have a problem with screen time? And if I do have a problem with screen time, then what?
Well, I mean that the whole idea of us sending this report is so that they can. They have acknowledged that there are some reports of this, and that corrections may be needed. So that's why I would hold off on wiping the Mac and starting fresh, because there may be something that has to be corrected. Wiping the Mac may not resolve it if there is an issue with screen time properly capturing or documenting the usage. So I would say we should wait on what they have to say and see
All
if
right.
there's anything more that we need to do.
Okay, so let's have a plan. I'll hold off until I hear from them. Okay? Because it's been quite a while now that we're talking about the very same thing. I'll hold off until I hear from them. As I showed you the previous recording, about a month ago, they told me to wait for a patch, and I showed you the patch wouldn't download. So what they're telling me is not working for me. Okay, so I'll wait one more week. This week, you let me know what they say, and like you had mentioned, it could be they could say it's a generic issue, wait for a patch. And here we go, we're doing the same stuff again, over and over again. All right, so let's talk on Friday at 5 o'clock, and then I will go ahead and wipe the Mac, and then you'll decide if the problem is hardware or software. Yes?
Yeah, yes. I will. I mean, like I said, I don't see any indication that there would be a problem with the hardware.
Okay.
But for sure, sometimes there can be an issue with the software configuration, something that can be benefited by doing a clean install. So, I mean, if they recommend that, I can pass that along to you.
Yeah, please. I need to know because I have no control of the Mac. I've already said that. Okay, so that's the plan. Okay, we wait for them for an answer, and then I will wipe the Mac and see if it happens again. And if it happens again, then it's a hardware issue, and I'll go to the Apple Store and have them do it, so it's done properly.
Okay.
Okay, good stuff. Hey,
All
listen.
right.
Thank you, Reg. Appreciate the time. We'll talk again soon on Friday at 5 p.m.
All right. I'll be then.
Take care, eh? Bye bye.